This is Bananas. Welcome to Don't Panic, Make Pancakes. These are the items that I'll be using today to make my flavored pancakes. We'll start here with the griddle. It's not on yet, but I'll soon have that preheated to 375. Got my large mixing bowl with my handy whisk here. You've met the bananas. I'll get into that in a little bit. I'm a Costcoholic, so I got the wholesale or the wholesale pancake mix that they have there. That's what I'll be using for today. But I use different pancake mixes, but I tend to use whatever Costco has. And I also went to Trader Joe's to use their cake and baking mix. I use different flavors, but today I'll be using the vanilla cake and baking mix. And in place of milk, I'll be using this almond beverage, also got from Costco. And I like my pancakes with a little bit of pizzazz to them. So oftentimes I use crushed pecans and sun-dried blueberries, but I couldn't find the crushed pecans where I normally go. So today I did find this cranberry and pecan topping or mix. I got that from Sam's, so I'll be using that today to help jazz up the pancakes. And I'll need a little bit of water, and also I got a half cup measuring cup, my scoop here to scoop my pancakes, and then also my spatula. So these are the items that you'll use, or at least the items that I use whenever I'm making pancakes. I'm going to pause for a second and start prepping. Welcome to Don't Panic, Make Pancakes. Alright, so if you can see here, I have now combined the pancake and waffle mix and also the vanilla cake and baking mix. So in time, I will blend these up, mix these up a little bit, and then I'm gonna blend these bananas with a little bit of water, just enough to where the mixture or the blend is kind of eggy. So in place of the eggs, I'm going to be using bananas, and normally the ratio is just 1 banana to 1 egg, and I use about 2 ounces of water, just 2 ounces of water per banana. So actually just enough water to where the mixture it kind of has that scrambled egg consistency. So and then I'll add that here, and also add the almond beverage in place of milk. Alright, check it out. So I have now added, I'd say, about 4 to 6 ounces of drinking water to the bananas, and I blended that, and as you can see here, the mixture came out kind of like the consistency of blended eggs, and that's it. So I'm going to add this to my pancake and baking mix, and also add the almond beverage, what used to be called almond milk, and then I'm going to get a consistency that I like to the pancakes or the pancake batter. Alright, I've added the banana mixture in place of the eggs, and I'm going to add the almond beverage too, and then I'm going to whisk this up. It's going to come out a little bit thick, but just so you have numbers, the pancake mix comes in 24-ounce packages. The vanilla baking mix that I got from Trader Joe's, that's about 18 ounces. So combined, this is about 42 ounces of pancake / cake and baking mix. And then I added my 3 bananas blended, and this vanilla beverage is about 32 fluid ounces. And I'm going to add the whole thing, and then I'm going to whisk it. Sit tight. Okay, so here's my pancake mix, and I have run into what we call a teachable moment, because while I was showing you guys the things that I prepped, I had actually added a little bit too much fluid, so my pancake mix came out really thin. So instead of panicking, I'm just going to add a little bit more. I'm going to open up another package of the actual pancake mix, and then add that to the batter, just to make it a little bit thicker. So don't panic, just make adjustments. So don't panic, make pancakes. Yeah, so I've been making pancakes for years, but I haven't been filming. As you can see, I haven't been filming for years, so normally all these numbers work out just right, but in my film prep or in my pancake prep, I might have been moving a little bit too fast. And incidentally, I had a little bit of this left over from just from day-to-day use, so I went ahead and added that. So I just added too much fluid. So instead, I'm gonna add I opened up another package, another 24 ounce package of the pancake and waffle mix, and I'm gonna add it. I'm gonna add some of it by the half cup until I get a texture or a consistency that I like, and that's it. So sit tight. Teachable moment. There we go. And that should get us a consistency that I like more. And if not, I'll just add another half cup until I get the consistency that I want. So for future reference, whenever you're making pancakes, you can add your fluid slow, because the last thing you want is your pancake batter to be too thin. So don't panic, make pancakes. Okay, so I added another half cup of pancake and waffle mix, and I got a consistency that I'm pleased with. It might be a hair thinner than what I typically like, because at the end of all this, and what I failed to mention earlier in the ingredients list, is that I'm also going to add some oil. And today's oil is going to be a grapeseed oil that I've been using for quite some time now. So once I get the consistency that I like in the batter, I'm going to add whatever fruits or nuts I want to add to it to give it, just an added flavor. And then I'm finally going to add some oil. And in this case, I like the grapeseed oil, which as you can see, you can also get this from Costco. This has been really good for me for not only baking, but also for frying or searing from time to time. So it's just been a good all-around versatile oil. But texture-wise or consistency-wise, that's about where you want it. That's pretty good. Maybe this might be just a hair thinner than what I typically like, but still, this is really good. Some people say that the rule of thumb is that the mix or the batter should come off clean from the whisk. I've been making them so long now that after a while I just got pretty good at just eyeballing it. And I'd rather err on the side of thick than on the side of thin. But so to each his own. But you can always play with the batter to where you get a consistency that you like. I'm going to go with this for today. This works well for me. And in fact, I'm going to let it sit even for a little bit just so it can thicken a little bit more. But if I were to err on the side of thin or thick, I would definitely go with thicker. So one problem I ran into now is that next time I make pancakes, I'm going to be about a half a cup short. But that's okay. I'll make adjustments. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up and then put it back in the box and store it for next time. But and then I'm going to start clearing out the countertop, because it's always good to tidy up as you prep and cook. And now I have added 2 cups of this cranberry and pecan topping. Normally I'll add, not 2 cups, 2 half cups. So really it's a full cup. Excuse me, my math is off. So normally I'll add a half a cup of pecans and then a half a cup of sun-dried fruit. But in this case, because this was mixed with both the pecans and the sun-dried fruit, I just added 2 half cups. So in essence, I added a cup of this mixture to the pancake batter. And that just helps to jazz up the pancakes a little bit. Now, if anyone knows where I can find sun-dried strawberries, reach out to me. I'm going to mix this up. And I'm also going to add finally a half a cup of the grapeseed oil. And then that'll be my final batter. Maya. So I've now added my half a cup. So I've mixed in the fruits, and now I've added a half a cup of grapeseed oil. I'm going to blend all this together. I'm going to whisk it all together. And then normally before I even add my fruits, I start to get the pan ready. So I've, as you can see here, I've started to preheat the griddle to 375. So normally as I'm adding the fruits, it's kind of like a signal to me to start getting the griddle ready. So I'm going to mix this all together, get the batter consistency that I like, and then start to pouring. Sit tight. Bam. So I've now blended everything together. I got a consistency that I like. You can see my fruits in there, and my the nuts in there, and the texture of the batter is pretty good. The reason why I like to err on the side of thick whenever I'm prepping the batter is because I know that the last thing I'm going to add is going to be a half a cup of oil, and that's going to thin it out a little bit. It's going to add a little more body to the batter, but it's also going to increase the volume a little bit. So that's the reason why I like to err on the side of thick when I'm making the batter. But still, we got a good batter here. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful, as Vince Young said in the after winning the national championship with for Texas. But yeah, so we got a pretty beautiful batter, but and it's not too thin. But I can tell when I pour the pancakes, they're going to cook fairly fast because this batter is a little bit, just a hair thinner than what I'm used to. But still, it's a really good batter. So we're ready to pour. Hold on. All right, so this is my scoop. I've now removed my whisk. Batter's ready. Sometimes when the batter's just a hair thin, I'll even let it sit for a little bit just so it thickens. This scoop is probably about 1/3 of a cup. And this batter is probably going to make anywhere between 2 dozen to 2.5 dozen pancakes. We might get a little bit more because we added a half a cup, another half a cup extra of the pancake and waffle mix. But either way, it's going to make enough pancakes for me to use for the next couple of days, next couple of weeks. Usually I'll have about two, sometimes 3 per day. And that's about it. It's for me, it's kind of a treat more so than it is breakfast. So I eat about 2, maybe 3 pancakes per sitting with a little bit of turkey bacon or sometimes just the pancakes. So I'm about to pour. Here's the moment of truth. Okay, here we go. So I just poured them. And as you can see, I poured this one first, and then poured this one second, and then poured this one third. This one is starting to bubble. So as you start seeing those little bubbles, then that's kind of your indicator that it's getting ready to flip. Also the edges, if you can see, I'm not sure where you can see that, but also the edges will start to basically coagulate, if that's the right term, but they'll start to firm up. So I'm gonna get ready to flip this one, then I'll flip this one right after, and then I'll flip this one last. And by the time I flip this one will just about be ready to go. And that's it. Pretty simple. Sit tight. Okay, so I know that different people like their pancakes different ways. Some people like them a little bit on the darker side. Some people like them a little bit on the lighter side. I'm not really a stickler as long as they're cooked. So you can see this one's a little bit, it's more golden brown. And this one's a little bit, it's kind of half and half because this griddle, it kind of heats weird. In my dream house, I'll have a griddle that heats, nice and evenly. And then this last one is a little bit lighter golden. Now, I've been with all kinds of people who, I normally make pancakes for family and friends, and I've got family and friends who like them, a little bit more like on the toasty side, and then family and friends who like them more on the lighter side. But, it's whatever. As long as they're cooked, I'm good. And I like these because there's a little more flavor to them, so I don't have to use as much syrup or any kind of stuff like that. The flavor is already within the pancakes. So I'll just top with a little bit of fruit, and that's it. All right, so I've just poured my next batch. I just poured my next batch, and now you can see already this one's going to be ready to flip really soon. And then come over here, and you'll see my golden brown coins. So this is what I normally put them all into, and I'll stack them in layers, and then it's basically meal prep for the next week or so, next 2 weeks or so. Excuse me. Now, one issue that I have ran into here is that it's always, I've got to find a way to store them such that it's the first in, first out, as opposed to last in, first out. I'd much rather eat the ones that were first made than eat the ones that were last made first, if that makes sense. And then that's it. But That's it. Pretty easy to do. Thank you very much for watching.